the perfect blend of culture and beauty. Welcome to Wander World Network. Fort Monro, nicknamed as the Marie of South Punjab, is a tranquil hill station in southern Punjab, Pakistan, in the Sulaiman mountain range. Fort Monro, at 6,470 feet, 1,972 meters above sea level, is a gem of natural beauty and cultural and historical value. Its verdant woods, flowing waterfalls, cultural immersion, and ancient architecture make it a wonderful getaway from the lowlands heat. Number 6. Location and ease of access in terms of geography. Who is in charge of keeping the roads to Fort Monro in good shape? Fort Monro is one of the easiest hill places in southern Pakistan to get to. It is only 85 kilometers from Dera Ghazi Khan and 185 kilometers from Multan. The road to Fort Monro is a trip in and of itself, with wonderful views of the rough mountains and rivers. As people climb up to the hill station, they get a thrill from going around a number of sharp corkscrew turns. These turns not only make the trip more exciting, but they also give you chances to stop and take in the views of the scenery. The steel bridge is one of the most interesting parts of the road. It was built to make getting there easier and to add to the beauty of the beautiful drive. The Fort Monro Development Authority has also recently worked on building projects, such as making roads wider and connecting areas better so that tourists can move safely and easily. Number 5. Importance in the past. Fort Monro is an important piece of history that goes back to when Australia was a British colony. It was first called Tumen-Lagari, after the Lagari tribe, who lived in the area before Europeans came. In 1886, the British built Fort Monro so that their administrative officers could get away from the intense heat of the plains during the summer. Andrew Aldcorn Monro was a Scottish general in the British Army who was in charge of the Derajat and Multan divisions, and the hill station was renamed in his honor. He played a big role in building it and laying the groundwork for its strategic and leisure value. Some buildings from the colonial era, like the Sandeman Lodge and the Commissioner's House, are still there today as reminders of the past. These houses show how British architecture affected the area and give us a look at the lives of the soldiers who used to live there. Fort Monro's colonial history makes it more appealing. It's not only a beautiful place to visit, but also an important one. Number 4. Beauty and attractions in nature. Who takes care of Fort Monro's outdoor paths and camping areas? Fort Monro is famous for having stunning natural beauty, which makes it a wonderful place for artists and people who love nature. The area is peaceful and offers a welcome break from the busy city life. It is surrounded by lush green woods, rolling hills, and beautiful rivers, picnics, and trails in nature. Fort Monro has many nature walks that wind through its beautiful scenery and lead to secret gems and scenic lookouts. You can hike, take pictures, and have picnics on these paths. The trails are not all the same level of tough, so both experienced walkers and people who just want to explore can use them. Falls and lakes with water. The beautiful waterfalls and calm lakes in Fort Monro are some of its best features. Dames Lake stands out as a peaceful place for tourists to come. Depending on the time of year, the lake's clear waters reflect the lush grass around it, making a picture-perfect scene. The nearby waterfalls are lovely and cool, especially when the monsoons are in full swing and the water flow is at its highest. Plants and animals. It is also a biodiversity area, which means that a lot of different plant and animal species live there. Many kinds of plants can grow there because of the cool weather and unique landscape. These include wildflowers and dense pine trees. Bird watchers will be thrilled to see local species, which will make their trip even more enjoyable. Number 3. Heritage and culture. Fort Monro is more than just a beautiful nature site. It is also a lively cultural center where the habits and customs of the Lagari tribe, a well-known Baloch group in the area, are celebrated. Balochi customs, and how to be friendly. People who live there are known for being very friendly and will greet guests with open arms and a smile. People who come to Balochistan can learn about the community's history by looking at their clothes and the things they do every day, music and food from the past. Balochi music is a big part of the culture, and Fort Monroe is a wonderful place to hear it. When people get together or celebrate in the area, native instruments like the saroz, a string instrument, and the tambura are often played. Balochi food, such as saji, roasted lamb, rosh meat stew, and fresh naan bread, is also available for tourists to enjoy. Goods made by hand. There are a lot of handmade goods, textiles, and items to find at the Fort Monroe markets. These unique gifts, which are often made using methods that have been passed down from generation to generation, show off the artistic history of the area. Number 2. The weather and the best time to go. Who keeps people who are planning a trip to Fort Monroe up to date on the weather? The weather in Fort Monroe is mild, which makes it different from the hot and humid lands that surround it. From March to October, summer. The weather stays nice, staying between 15 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius, making this the best time to do things outside. From November to February, winter. Even though it's cold in the winter when it snows, Fort Monroe turns into a winter beauty that draws tourists looking for a snowy getaway. When to go spring and summer are the best times to go because the weather lovely nice and the scenery is beautiful. Number 1. New developments. In the past few years, Fort Monroe's infrastructure has been getting better as the government and local officials work to market it as a top tourist spot. Important changes include improvements to roads and connections. Tourists can travel better and enjoy their trip more thanks to the building of new roads and the improvement of old ones. For example, the Steel Bridge project has cut down on journey time and made the whole experience better for tourists. Tourist facilities. A wide range of places to stay, from cheap guest houses to nice hotels, have been built to suit all types of visitors. It is now easier to visit thanks to the addition of outdoor places, parking lots, and information centers. Keeping the beauty of nature. To protect Fort Monroe's natural surroundings, eco-friendly projects are being put in place. Tough rules make sure that new buildings don't hurt the environment around the hill station, which keeps its natural beauty. In conclusion, Fort Monroe is a real gem in South Punjab. It has beautiful natural scenery and a lot of history and culture. There is something for everyone in this hill town. Whether you want to get lost in nature, learn about history, or fall in love with Balochi culture, new improvements in infrastructure and tourism make it even more appealing, and tourists can enjoy modern conveniences without changing the area's genuineness. For those who come, Fort Monroe is more than just a place to go. It's an experience that stays with them. For people who want to get away from the noise and chaos of city life, Fort Monroe is a peaceful place that combines culture and beauty perfectly. We've got so much more in store for you. Hit like, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates in fashion.